Hey y'all, it's Nancy, the Handy Scandy here for Whimsy Stamps. Thanks for joining me. I am back with the last few cards from my foil making spree that I did a few months ago. So if you will recall, I decided I was not going to be foiled by foil, and I pulled out a bunch of different card fronts from the Terror 1 and Terror 2 toner card fronts by Whimsy, of course. And the Terror 1 is the A2 and the Terror 2 are the slimline. And so I just have several. These are the last of my spree, as I said. So I am taking this branchy tree from, what's the name of this stamp set? The Seasonal Trees stamp set, and just stamping with Versamark and heat embossing with some black embossing powder. I think this one is from Lindy's Gang. And I am just using that little fine paintbrush to knock off the powder where I didn't want it, and then I hit it with my heat tool. Now you don't want to have your heat tool over the foil for too long, because I've noticed that it can crack, so you just want to be mindful of that. So I like that extra texture. And then to create my night sky over the cemetery, I'm using some distressed spray stains. Now I use those circles just because I didn't want all my colors to blend, but I also didn't want those hard circles. So I come back in with my sprays in a little more controlled manner, and then I added some more pigment to that background, and I'm wiping off the excess, and then I set it aside to dry, and it takes a long time to dry. And so now I am stamping out this sweet and creepy little girl with her scariest of balloons, and the stamp is called Halloween Bawoon, B-A-W-O-O-N. You heard me right. I stamped it up with my Memento Tuxedo Black ink because it is appropriate for alcohol ink markers, and I am just coloring the images up. Well, it's one image, but the characters up with my Olo markers. And I end up fussy cutting it all out. I do not show all of the fussy cutting on screen. You'll see here in a second I have a blunder with one of my Olo markers. I don't know why. See there? Those darker reds and the oranges, sometimes they just bloop out like that, and I haven't figured it out why, and I haven't really gotten a resolution from Olo yet. So not sure if it's my particular Olo markers, those particular barrels for those colors, if it's an issue with the pigments, I don't know. But I do find that it's only with those darker reds and oranges. So it is what it is, and I resolve it. Well, we'll see. I'll show you how I resolve it. But I just left it alone. Finished coloring her up, colored up the balloon, and like I said, I will fussy cut. I just don't show it all on screen. One thing I will tell you is I end up, well, let me slow down. What I wanted to tell you was that I take my black marker, and after I fussy cut them, I go around the edges, because there's a lot going on in this scene, and I don't want that white edge to be a distraction. So I pulled out this purple metallic cardstock from my stash to coordinate with her skirt. I wanted to pull that purple out, and once I die cut all of my pieces out, you know, I always do my auditioning, and I decided that night sky needed a little purple hue around the edges. So I pulled out my seedless preserves, and then of course my black soot, did that little bit of ink blending around the edges, and that just added that perfect little bit of purple that I needed. And now here I have, oh, what is this? It is a Nouveau Mica Mist. The mister is completely clogged. This is the pearled ivory color, and I just poured that into the black soot that I mushed out on my desk, and that made the most beautiful splatter. I can't even tell you. Look at that splatter. It's gorgeous. And here I've stamped my balloon image again, but it's much, much lower than it is on the real image. So I didn't want to cut my stamp, but because I have an A2 card and it's not quite big enough once I trimmed everything down with my layering dies, I needed my balloon to be in a different place. So I stamped it onto my background, and this is where the fussy cutting and the going around the edge with the markers comes in to play, and it's so important because it allows me to just kind of modify my scene in a way that makes sense for this particular card. Now I did not fussy cut all of the little, what are they called? The mobile things hanging off the balloon, but I did do a couple of them, and I fussy cut them out. Now I didn't worry about dealing with the white edges on those because they are mostly covered up by the little girl, but also if they weren't there, you would know that they were missing from the main stamp. So anyway, laid them down, and you can see with her, I actually cut her legs off right at her skirt, and because of the way the card ends, it looks appropriate. So if I hadn't shown you that there was a blurb on her legs, you may not know that I was covering something up and that I just cut it off intentionally. So that is the card. I think it's adorable. I went ahead and cut out another panel for the inside so that you have a place to write, but look at all that sparkle and shine, and that splatter just added that last little bling that the background needed. I am in love with that card, y'all. It turned out better than I had in my head. And so this is card 2. Now I do have to say, for the other 2 cards, they are going to be bonus cards because I did not get footage of them. My camera stopped several times. I ran out of storage no matter what I did. No matter how much I deleted, I just wasn't able to recover enough room to get all of the other 2 cards. So they are bonus cards, but we show them, and I'll talk to you a little bit about them. And there's nothing groundbreaking that I did in the making of the cards. So I think if you have any questions about them, let me know. If you have questions about product or techniques or colors or anything, you let me know downstairs in the comment section, and I will certainly answer your questions. But on this one, I am using this sweet stamp set. Oh my gosh, it's called Spooktacular. This, I believe, came out last year. I think it was 23. It may have been 22. I won't even lie to you. I'm not sure. But that Boo Y'all in the middle is from the Home Sweet Haunted Home stamp set, and I know that's from last year. And then the die, to be honest, I cannot remember the name of that die. I want to say it's Swiss cheese, but that's not it. But I will have that linked and listed in the description box for sure. So I love it, and I love that the teal foil. I think it looks so good. And keep in mind when you use these dies and you have that excess, so like on the slimline there are the holes, I have those holes and I can use them, right? And on this one I had the frame, and I could use the frame if I wanted to in different ways. That's still foiled, it has the ink blending, you just can use it in different creative ways. So this is number 2, and then for the others, I will show you them here in just a second. And I want to apologize for the way the sunshine is beaming in. I love it. It's so good, especially after the hurricane. You know, we had the weather too. We didn't have the devastation here where I'm at in North Carolina, but we did have bad weather, and we had some water issues and some power issues, but nothing major. So I am not complaining, but the sunshine feels amazing today. So this is the Primitive Halloween stamp set, and I also used the Quick Strip Sentiment die set to die cut the greetings there, and the background die is called the Slimline Postage die. And of course, where those postage holes are cut out, or where the holes are where the black background is, you can use those rectangles, those postage stamp rectangles, for another project. I think it would be super cute. Now I did use the dies that coordinate with those stamps to fussy cut those out, and again just colored, everything was colored with my Olos. Now on this one I have used the Peekaboo Window 3 to create the background, and again those die cut pieces can be used for another project. And then of course my Vampirus is from the stamp set Something Wicked, as are the bats. And then the Scary Night is a brand new, it's Scary Night word die set, it's brand new. And then I put well, I don't want to say a bunch, but a couple different pieces to create the shaker bits in the background, and those are from This Calls for Confetti. Those fall leaves, I don't know if they are still available or not, but I wanted to use them in this project. And then I've pulled out some bats from other mixes, and those are my cards, and I think they turned out great, and I have had a good time with this little foiled series, but I am also glad to move on to something else. I have enjoyed this very much, and I am no longer foiled by foil, I'm proud to say. But it's time for something new, something different. And Whimsy has so many wonderful and amazing projects and products coming out that I'm excited to play with some new things and mix them up with some of my old favorites. And if you have not already participated in the IG hop, I invite you to hop over to Instagram. There is a collaboration hop going on with Chibitronics, and there are prizes to be had. So hop over there, start at Whimsy Stamps page, and hop along and get yourself eligible to win those prizes. And in the meantime, guys, mwah, this is Nancy, the Handy Scandy, and I'll see you next time.